Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video where today I'm going to be giving you my World Cup predictions as the tournament is literally less than 24 hours away from beginning. It's in Qatar this year, it's in the winter, which is a little bit different to normal, so here are my predictions. Kicking off with Group A. Now, this one includes the host Qatar, Senegal, Netherlands and Ecuador. Now, for me, unfortunately, I'm sorry to Qatar, the hosts, they're going to finish bottom, in my opinion. I just don't think they have enough. The squads that Netherlands, Senegal and Ecuador have are just simply better than the one that Qatar has. And for that reason, they're at the bottom in my group. Now, second and third in this one was very tight actually. A lot of people are predicting Ecuador to actually shock Senegal and finish second in the group. However, despite not having Sadio Mane for this tournament, I still think Senegal will claim that second spot and that leaves Ecuador in third. And of course, Netherlands topping that group. I think there's no doubt about this one. They have a great side, brilliant players, attack, defence and midfield. And I can't see them not winning this group. As for Group B, this is the one that England are in. And of course, Wales as well, the other home nation going to the tournament. And they are with USA and of course, Iran. For me, I don't see Iran going far in this tournament. I don't see them getting out of the group. And unfortunately for them, I can see them in fourth. The real decider in this group is to whether USA or Wales will qualify with England. Now, I think it's safe to say that England will top the group. I don't want to talk too soon, but that's definitely my prediction. But a lot of people have been predicting Wales to finish above the United States and qualify alongside England. However, I don't feel the same way. I've actually gone with USA in second and Wales in third. For me, with the players they have, they're very united as well as a team. They have some great stars, Weston McKennie, Christian Pulisic, Gio Reyna. You know, I know I've missed more there, but they have so many that can really boost USA in this tournament. And for me, yes, Wales have some great players. And of course, they have their target man, Gareth Bale. But in general, I just can't see them beating USA. And I think that game will be the decider. If somebody actually does win between USA and Wales, they will go through with England. But if it is a draw, then they have to hope on goal difference and rely, of course, on the other games that they play in that group. But for me, that's one of the tightest decisions. Now for Group C, once again, there are two certainties in this group. Argentina will top it, Saudi Arabia will finish bottom. Those are definitely my predictions. And of course, it's the second and third, once again, as to who will qualify being the tough decision. Now, Poland and Mexico. Mexico have a very good history of getting out of groups. They know how to do it. They have some great stars as well too. And I really like the way that Mexico play. Hervin Lozano's been doing brilliantly at Napoli this season. And I'm sure he's going to be one of their proper target men and one of the players that they're going to want to get on the ball. But for me, it's going to be Poland that actually qualify in second place. You love to see Matty Cash in that Poland squad as well. But for me, Robert Lewandowski, Piotr Zielinski, he is an absolute baller. He's been so good for Napoli. Szczesny in goal, and they have some really nice defenders as well. I think it's Glick and Bednarek, and I'll probably miss some more, but for me, they have the edge over Mexico, and they will qualify alongside Argentina, and that's what I think for Group C. Group D is where the first real shocker happens. Now, for me, there's no doubt about Tunisia and Australia not qualifying. However, I think it's the French that will actually finish second, with Euro 2020 finalists Denmark actually topping the group. Now, Denmark and France are definitely the favourites to qualify in this group. However, like I said, I think Denmark will top it. And here's why. The French just have too many stars. They have too many egos as well, with the likes of Mbappe, Benzema, Giroud, and Griezmann as well. And they would have had Nkunku if it wasn't for him getting injured. They just have almost too many options. And the fact that they're missing Pogba and N'Golo Kante in their midfield, who would usually play in that starting 11, I think will be a big miss for them. And I really think they might struggle in this competition. I honestly cannot see them going too far. I do think they will get out of the group, but I think the World Cup curse will strike again and make sure that France don't go too far in the competition. So, just to recap, it will be Tunisia at the bottom, Australia just to finish ahead of them. I think those two that maybe will be a point or even go to goal difference as to who finishes bottom and to who finishes third in the group. But for me, it's Denmark that will top it and France coming in second place. Group E, I think this one is the most obvious, and this one didn't really take too much thinking time as to who's going to qualify. However, I think it'll be Costa Rica that come in fourth place. They're a very defensive side and they will be hard to break down for the other teams in the group. And they have Keylor Navas as well. He's a great leader and an exceptional goalkeeper as well. So that's a big bonus for them. And I think Japan will finish third, just above them. because they simply don't have enough compared to Spain and Germany. Yes, they do have some good players, and yes, they really are a team. One thing about the Japanese is that they are really united as a team. They work together. There's no egos in that group. They're not all trying to be the star. They are one team representing their country. For me, I don't think Spain will do very well in this competition. I can't see them going far. They've missed out some big players with the likes of Thiago and Sergio Ramos, and of course David De Gea, who I think has been treated very unfairly. But despite that, I can still see them qualifying and getting out of this group, but just not very far beyond that. And that leaves, of course, Germany with their young stars, including Musiala, Moukoko as well. They've got some fantastic players as well, and they've also got some older players in the squad, including the man that's won the World Cup for Germany, scoring that winner against Argentina back in 2014, Mario Götze. He's back in the squad alongside veteran Thomas Müller, so they'll be looking to send Germany very far into this competition, and I do think that they will top Group E. Group F could actually be seen as the group of death. Now, for me, there are 4 teams in this group. We'll just pretend I didn't say that. Anyway, finishing in bottom in this group, I've gone with Canada. Yes, they do have some nice players, and I really like Alphonso Davies as well, one of the best left-backs in the world. And they've also got Jonathan David up front, or David, I'm not sure how you say it, but he's a world-class player and doing very well for Lille. But unfortunately for them, I've gone with them in 4th place. I just don't think they have enough, and I do think that Morocco will have the edge on them, and Croatia too. Now, for me, Belgium will definitely top the group. I think there's no doubt about that one. It's between Croatia and Morocco. And I spent ages thinking about this one. Yes, Croatia did really well in the last World Cup, but the Moroccans have some very decent players in their side. They've got a good goalkeeper that plays for Sevilla. They've got some nice strikers as well. They've also got Hakim Ziyech, who isn't obviously in the best of form, considering he's not really been playing too much for Chelsea. However, I could actually see Morocco qualifying in this group. I haven't gone with it. I have gone with them in 3rd. And Croatia in 2nd behind Belgium. But I genuinely would not be surprised to see Morocco qualify and go far in this competition. Now it's time for the penultimate one. It's Group G. Now I said the last one is a bit of a group of death. This one is definitely the group of death. Now, despite Samuel Eto'o saying that Cameroon will win the tournament, I've got them finishing bottom of the group. I just don't think they have enough compared to the others, and I like to see African sides doing well in the competitions. I'm a massive fan of the African Cup of Nations. However, I just can't see Cameroon doing too well. They just haven't really got enough standout players for me. They haven't really got someone that's going to take them very far. I think they've got Abubakar. I think he might play for Porto. He said something about Mohamed Salah recently in an interview, which didn't go down too well. But for me, his country aren't going to go far in this World Cup, and they aren't going to get out of the group. Now the next one was the hardest decision of them all. Once again, I've got my 1st certain and my 4th certain. Brazil will finish top of the group, and I think they'll go very far in the entire competition. But Serbia and Switzerland, this one was by far the trickiest decision I had to make when predicting the group stages at the World Cup. It's a tough one, it really is, but for me, I have decided after a long process of thinking that it will be Serbia that qualify and Switzerland that miss out, and here's why. Switzerland have some great players, and they also have Newcastle defender Fabian Schär, who I think will do very well for them. They also did quite well in the recent Euros as well, including beating France in that penalty shootout. But for me, I think they're going to fall in the opening stages here. Also, not to mention that Serbia have a great side as well. They've got some really nice attacking players as well. Mitrovic and Jovic as well. They've got Milinkovic-Savic. They've got some nice players all over the pitch, and I really think that they will link up very nicely. Let's not forget Juventus wingback Filip Kostic as well, who recently transferred from Frankfurt. I think he's a great player and definitely one to watch in the upcoming World Cup. Like I said though, there is absolutely no doubt that Brazil will top this group. I just can't see anything other than that happening. Switzerland and Serbia is really the hardest one, but if I had to say, I think it would be Serbia that qualify with Brazil, like I said. Finally, another really tough group, and it's Korea, for me, that are going to finish bottom of Group H. Yes, they have Heung-min Son, he is back from injury, and also, I think another man to watch is the Napoli defender, Kim Min-jae. He's absolutely fantastic. He's been one of the best defenders in world football this season, and definitely the best one in Serie A so far. He's been fantastic for Napoli as well in the Champions League, and I really think he's a player to watch. However, I think Ghana will just have the edge on Korea, leaving Uruguay and Portugal to finish in the qualification spots. Ghana have the likes of Thomas Partey, the Ayew brothers as well, but I really think that Korea could finish above Ghana. I don't see it happening. I just think they're going to fall, and I think they might unfortunately crumble, and Ghana will just have the edge. But I don't think either side will qualify. This one's definitely between Uruguay and Portugal as to who's going to top the group. And for me, Uruguay are proper dark horses in this competition. I really like the team that they have. They have some fantastic players all over the pitch, just like some of the other teams in this competition. Cavani, Nunez, Suarez up front. They've got Rodrigo Bentancur and Valverde in that midfield as well. They've got Diego Godin at the back. He's a fantastic player, an old player that can really lead that side. Muslera in goal as well. He's a fantastic player. And for me, Uruguay, I really think they're going to do well. I like them this year. I think they've got Vecino in midfield as well. He has played in the Serie A and he's a fantastic player. So for me, I think Uruguay will do very well, and I don't think that they will top the group though, because Portugal, they just have too much, and I really back Portugal to go very far in this competition. Obviously, having the main man Ronaldo up top leading that side, it's going to be very difficult to break them down as well. Now, Portugal do have many stars like France that possibly could actually ruin the overall balance of the team, just because there are so many good players they may not link together. But regardless of that, I can still see them topping Group H. I'm going to be predicting the full World Cup. Now, going into the round of 16, the first one is Netherlands versus the USA. And for me, regardless of who qualifies out of USA and Wales, the Netherlands will beat either of them. They're a strong side, wouldn't be surprised to see them go far, and I can just see them beating both USA and Wales. So regardless of who qualifies, like I said, it'll be the Netherlands that go through to face either Argentina or France. Now, if I'm right about Denmark topping the group and France coming second, they will face Argentina. And that will be one of, and possibly the biggest match in the round of 16. Argentina versus France, and this is where the World Cup curse strikes again. It's Argentina, the previous Copa America winners, that are going to go through. And next up, we have finalists of the last World Cup. Croatia take it on Germany if it all goes to plan, according to my predictions. And now, despite their recent success in the last World Cup, I can't see Croatia beating Germany. I think they could go far in this competition. I wouldn't be surprised to actually see them go on and win the whole thing. They've got older players, younger players. I really like their defence as well. Schlotterbeck and Rudiger at the back. Really excited to see them. And of course, they've got the young guns in attack. And also players like Serge Gnabry, Sane, and also Bayern Munich players. For example, Müller, Goretzka, Kimmich. There are a lot of Bayern Munich players in that squad, so they will already know how to link up. And they've also got a few Dortmund players in there as well, so I don't think it'll be hard for those boys to link up, and I think they will beat Croatia. Next up, now despite I said that Uruguay would go far in this competition and that they could be dark horses, unfortunately they come up against Brazil in this next prediction. And like I said, I think Brazil will go extremely far in this competition, possibly even to the final. So I'm definitely having them to beat Uruguay. Next up, it's the home nation, England, facing off against Senegal. And I can only see one outcome in this one. It's going to be England that qualify. No Sadio Mane for Senegal is really going to make them struggle. However, I still think they will qualify in their group, as I said, due to the likes of having players, for example, Koulibaly, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Bamba Dieng up top as well, Ismail Assar. They've got some fantastic players, however, not enough to beat England. If my predictions are completely right so far, then this will probably be the hardest round of 16 game to predict. It's Denmark against Poland. I really think Poland could do well and they could surprise a couple of teams, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them get a point off Argentina as well. However, if they do face Denmark, I think Denmark will win. They did really well in the last Euros, and now they've obviously got Eriksen back as well after he went through that awful time during the Euros and afterwards. But he is back in the Denmark squad, ready for the World Cup. And I can honestly see Denmark doing quite well, and I can definitely see them beating Poland if they get there. And then if that does happen, of course, it will be England versus Denmark in the next round, just like in the Euros. But first, we have another round of 16 game where there's two more left, and it's Belgium versus Spain. I said Spain wouldn't go far in this competition, and this, for me, is where they're going to get knocked out. I like Belgium. I think they're a very good side. They did quite well in the last World Cup. I believe they came third, beating England in the World Cup third and fourth place playoff. And for me, they're going to beat Spain. I can just see it happening. I really wouldn't be surprised to see Spain go out this early, even with Luis Enrique in charge. I think he's a fantastic manager. But Belgium will beat Spain, in my opinion. Portugal versus Serbia is the final round of 16 game. And for me, there's only going to be one outcome. Portugal, they go through, regardless of Serbia beating Switzerland, like I said, to qualify with Brazil. I think Portugal will beat either side. I just can see them going far in the competition. And I just don't think Serbia have enough. I think they have enough to get the edge over Switzerland, but certainly nowhere near enough to beat Portugal. So then, guys, it's the quarterfinals. It's the Netherlands versus Argentina. Now, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see Netherlands do well in this competition. But for me, Argentina, I think they're going to do really well. They've got a really strong squad with, of course, Lionel Messi, Lautaro Martinez, and obviously they've had a few injuries as well, which is a shame. However, considering that they won the Copa America recently, I think they will beat the Netherlands, to be honest with you, and secure their place in the semi-finals. The next one is a repeat of 2014. It's Germany versus Brazil, when Germany smashed Brazil 7-1 in their own country. However, I think Brazil are going to get revenge, and I think they will go through to play Argentina in a repeat of last year's Copa America. And I think Brazil's squad depth and leaving Roberto Firmino at home just shows how good they are and what talent they really do have. They've got some fantastic young players as well. Bruno Guimaraes, Antony, Vinicius, Rodrigo. They've got so many players that can really carry them forward in this World Cup. Despite Germany having a very nice squad too, they just don't have enough to compete with the likes of Brazil in this year's World Cup. England versus Denmark is the next one. Now, it's a repeat of the Euros last year, but I don't see Denmark getting revenge over England on this one. I just see them going far. Now, despite I don't agree with some of Southgate's squad selections and his choices overall, I can still see England beating Denmark if it gets to this stage in the competition. Finally, Belgium versus Portugal. I think this is probably the most difficult one that I had to predict. Belgium have got some fantastic stars. They really do have some brilliant players in that squad. Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku. Yes, Hazard hasn't been on brilliant form, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's Eden Hazard. Torgan Hazard is there as well, so those two will link up nicely. Of course, they've got Yuri Tielemans in midfield, but for me, Belgium's downfall is their defence. The old boys, Alderweireld and Vertonghen, the ex-Tottenham players, just don't really have enough. And yes, I know they have young players. I know they have Jason Denayer as well, who's a fantastic defender. But for me, it'll be Portugal that actually qualify in this one, seeing Ronaldo go one step further in the competition. Now for the semi-finals, it's a repeat of the Copa America, Argentina versus Brazil. And this time the Brazilians will get revenge. Sorry, Lionel Messi fans, but I think this is where Argentina will crash out of this year's competition. I just think Brazil have the edge on Argentina, and they'll really be up for it, considering they lost the Copa America in their country as well. So for me, I think it will be Brazil that advance to the final. And now it's England versus Portugal. And as much as I would love to see England get into another final, I can't see it happening. I really think if it gets to this stage, England will crash out. And I think they will crumble under the pressure. And I really don't think that Southgate's squad selection will help him in this competition. Leaving out the likes of Tomori as well, who's a fantastic centre-back, and for me would actually start at the World Cup. Obviously with Ivan Toney as well, I know he's recently been found guilty of 232 betting charges. However, I think having him in the squad actually would have really boosted the side. And also Tammy Abraham as well, he's a shout. He definitely could have gone. But for me, this is where England are going to fall and Portugal will advance to play their fellow Portuguese-speaking nation, Brazil, in the final. And in that final, well, what can I say? I think there's going to be goals, that's for sure. And as much as I would love to see Ronaldo lifting that trophy to end his career in the best possible way, it's the Brazilians that are going to win it for me. I think Brazil will do it. And with the squad depth they have, like I said, and the stars all over the pitch, yes, they don't have the strongest fullbacks. However, that's kind of irrelevant when you look at the rest of the squad. They just have power all over the pitch. They have skill, they have flair. And guys, Brazil, you can never underestimate them. They're always going to be one of the favourites. And I think they actually are the favourites this year as well to win the competition. And for me, they will beat Portugal in the final. However, I don't actually feel that the Portuguese can complain with getting to the final. I think that would actually be a very good result for them, considering how poorly they did in the Euros recently. Honestly, I really thought they'd go a lot further than they did. But for me, the World Cup is where they're going to improve it, but just not enough to beat the Brazilians. So that is where this video ends. Guys, I'm predicting Brazil to win the World Cup in 2022 in Qatar. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, let me know what other kind of videos that you would like to see on this channel, as obviously I can't go to a football match every week. I deliberately didn't go this week in order to get this video out and also to save some money, because after the World Cup, I'm going to be going to a lot of Premier League games, some big games, and also hopefully returning to St James's Park as well, which I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, this week is unfortunately not a proper matchday experience, but what else would you like to to see in these videos, and what other kind of videos would you like to see on this channel. Anyway, if you did enjoy it, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and turn on the notifications so that you can be one of the first in my next video, which will be a special one next week, and you'll find out more about that when you click on the video. But trust me, it's one that you don't want to miss. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.